Welcome to the Omziel Healing Sanctuary. We're giving you bite-sized information for you to take in your daily life. We're here, as always, with a very special guest. She has attended a number of our ice plunges with the Breathwork, and it's been extremely beneficial for her. And we'd just like to hear a little bit more about her story. So please introduce yourself.
Thank you. My name is Yasmin. I am a birthing nurse and a wellness advocate. So I like to embrace a lot of alternative modalities to really optimize our wellness. We kind of live in a very sick society, so we really have to take accountability in our day-to-day to really optimize our wellness. And the Omziel Healing Sanctuary really has made an impact in my overall well-being, and it's something that I really cherish and really hope that more people take on.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So you've come to the Omziel Healing Sanctuary for a few of the plunges. So maybe you could walk us through like the first time when you came. What was going through your mind before you came, and then the breath work and perhaps the ice also?
Mm-hmm. Well, the very first plunge that I came to was in the middle of January. And it was freezing out. It was 20 degrees. And I thought I was insane. I didn't understand why I wanted to do something like this. I thought I was going to get sick. I had a lot of anxiety leading up to it. Immediately once I stepped into the Omziel Healing Sanctuary, I felt this warmth, despite the cold being out. You feel this warmth, you feel really welcome, and the breath portion of it in the beginning leading up to the ice bath really helped ground me, really helped center and calm my nervous system, because your mind is like a tornado. It has a lot of thoughts rushing through, and the breath work is, I think, one of the most crucial aspects of the whole process, because it really helps you hone in to your body and focus on just being in this moment and letting everything else fall by the wayside.
That's good. Yeah, the breath is very important. People would think like, oh, you just get in, that's crazy, but we just don't jump in the water. Like first we oxygenize the cells in our bodies.
Absolutely.
It's like your energy is just buzzing, like you're already on fire, you're ready to go. But how about the next part of it, like that ice thing? Tell us about that.
Well, I think it's really awesome that you have us put the ice into the bath, because it kind of gets you into that mindset of what you're about to endure, and it helps bring us all together that we're doing this as a unit. It took a second to really convince myself, okay, I'm about to really do this. And once you hit that ice, it's an initial shock. Your body's screaming at you. Everything is screaming, saying, this is not what we want to do. I want to immediately jump out. You start to feel like pain. It's uncomfortable. But as you really focus on your breath and start to relax your mind, the pain becomes less uncomfortable. It's more of just something that you witness and not something that defines the whole experience.
Right.
And I've noticed that from other experiences now since I've done it a couple of times, that if I keep my body tense, it actually makes the experience harder. So I really have to compel myself to just relax into it, let your extremities loose, and really just be present in that moment and not be overwhelmed by it.
Right. It is overwhelming. That's why some people, they don't even make the 30 seconds. Like that's usually the threshold. Some guys come in and in 20 seconds, they get out. It's like if you just waited 11 more seconds, like you'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's painful and all that. But you flow with it,
And you're right. Yeah, that 30 seconds is where you're kind of battling your own mind, and you're really have to kind of just say, okay, I'm accepting this challenge. And I know that there is something more to this than just stepping into ice.
Yeah, definitely. I could tell you that the first time I did it, my mind was just screaming, like, get out, get out, get out, get out. I was like, shut up, give me a minute here. I'm like, I'm doing this, I'm committed to this, and it just, stay with the breath. And I was just stayed with it. And then after I came out, it was just incredible.
Yeah.
But the breath is so powerful, right? So if we could just back up a little bit toward the breath, like, did something come up for you, or has things come up for you, like in the breath, like the last time we did it, or the other times too? Like anything comes up, colors, visions, childhood memories, loved one.
I feel like these experiences help draw to light like my own personal anxieties. Like, as I said before, sometimes our minds work like a tornado. It's just a constant flow of things, and sometimes it's really hard to settle all of that movement. And coming back to my breath helps dispel all of that, kind of calms the waters in a way. And
Right.
I find that in my experience, just focusing on my breath while I'm in a space of discomfort easily translates into my day-to-day situation. So, doing the ice baths, whenever I encounter a stressor that might send me spiraling, something that I tend to fixate on, I'm reminded again that just breathe through the discomfort.
Right.
I don't know about necessarily seeing colors or anything, but I really enjoy how in tune with my body I become, because again, we live in a very fast-paced world, and it's very easy to disregard what your body's calling for. And these ice bath experiences really help get you back in touch with your body, and that's something that I really pride myself on, is being in tune with myself and really honoring what my body calls for. And that's
Right.
something I've learned through this experience.
Thank you. It's very important. Oftentimes we just flowing through life, without having any thought of anything. Like any little wind comes, we just go with it instead of saying, "Hey, wait a minute, no, I'm not gonna do that." So the whole exercise is really to be that eye of the storm. Like when everything is just crazy around you, you just back to your breath and you're there. It's part of like knowing yourself,
Yeah.
right? Because you've been to our place upstairs before, and right over the door before you walk into the inner sanctum of the sanctuary, where my kids live, right? My wife, I have "Know Thyself" on the top,
Yeah.
and that was the saying that was on top of the temples in ancient Kemet, and also when you went to see the oracle. It said, before you even come for asking for anything, know yourself first, who you are. And that's where the breath comes in. It helps me like to say, okay, I know who I am. I'm in the driver's seat, not that crazy mind telling me, get out, or, why am I breathing so much? And what if I forget how to breathe, or something like that. And then in the ice also, what are your thoughts there, like when you're in the ice? Because you shared some with me than the last time.
Yes. Well, once you get past the initial shock and you're yelling at yourself for putting yourself in this scenario, I find myself really trying to quiet my mind as much as possible, and just witnessing what things come about. Especially if I'm going through something at the time, like those little insecurities might come, but I just watch them and let them fade. And sometimes I'll kind of focus in on like, okay, well, what's bringing that out right now? What were some of the emotions that I was feeling leading up to this, and how can I release it here so that it doesn't haunt me later on,
That's powerful.
I tend to kind of witness more so than anything else, to witness what kind of flows.
Of course. Yeah. For me also, it's just that whole thing about, okay, I'm here now, like, because some people look at me, they go, oh, you're the Iceman, come on, you get in all the time. Like, no, I'm going through it too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm feeling pain, it's hurting, and it's uncomfortable, like, but I just try to come back to myself and just pay attention to where I'm at. Okay, I'm here. Breathe, stay with the breath, and just release. And then I start having some of those deeper thoughts like you're alluding to, which is like, just leave it here. All those stressors and all that, whatever's going on in my private life and relationships, and the kids and the job, like just, it's here, it's gonna stay here. It's just like, release it,
Yeah, it's nice to feel like the hardships in life don't have to define your whole entire state of being, because we get overwhelmed and suddenly, you know, if something bad happens, that now defines my character. And I feel like experiences like this help you realize that as long as you're staying present in the moment, anything can flow past you and it doesn't have to stick to you necessarily.
Right. Yeah, it definitely does help in that exercise. I've often hear people tell me, like, you know, after the weekend when they go to work Monday, Tuesday, and they start coming with the BS, you know, they be like, that's all you got for me, man? Get out of here with that. I was just in an ice bath. It was freezing outside. Like, come on, I'm not going to even feed into that.
Absolutely.
You know?
It definitely gives you perspective, and, you know, it's well worth it in that sense, because a lot of times it is easy to get bogged down by the matrix, and if you're surrounded by a certain attitude, sentiment, it starts to stick, you know, you start to experience that, and then you wonder, okay, is that me? Am I like this? Or is it just a product of my environment? And so when you be involved in these kind of experiences, it helps you make that or develop that discernment.
Yeah, for sure. How about like after, like the last ice bath, for instance, like afterwards, when you go back to the normal life, you have your son and your family, and then there's the job and scheduling and all these other things start coming in, you know, how does that come into play? Like the ice, how's your energy level? How's your vibration?
Well, I will say, like, immediately after every ice bath, like, you just feel completely invigorated. I've done 2 of the ice baths I've done after working the night before, and, you know, maybe taking a 2-hour nap and then coming to do it.
Wow.
And I was able to carry on the rest of my day. Didn't feel like I needed to take a nap, anything like that, just because you're revitalized, you know, and it does give you this boost of energy. You know, I also find that, like, my body calls for more live things, so like I make sure I'm hydrating really well with, like, you know, electrolytes, and I want to eat more live foods as opposed to, you know, the convenience, you know, fast food, harsh oils, things like that, you know. It really helps. It's a body check-in, so it really encourages me to be more consistent with my diet, and again, as I said before, you know, the attunement with your body, and really paying attention to what it needs. Right.
Yeah, for me also, like, it just gives me that boost too. Like, I'm on fire. Like, for 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks, like, I'm just on fire.
And
like,
you feel excited about life again, you know?
You do.
Because you're no longer feeling the weight of the world holding you down. You're renewed, and it does make you feel like life is worth living.
Yep, definitely. You know, the science is there. You know, when you go through these short stressors, which human bodies are meant for that, you know, the endorphins that go off, man, like it just fires neurons that were not firing before, you know, and then you come out invigorated and you feel energized and more sharp. You know, it also activates the reticular activation system, which that's when you buy a car and you've never seen that car before, but now you're driving and you see the cars everywhere. It does that. So it makes you more aware of your surroundings during the day, you know, especially if you're a family person like yourself. I have 2 kids too, like you have to be sharp, you know, then you pay attention more to your attitude, your reaction to certain things. And
For sure.
And tell me about you know, someone who would be looking into something like this and would be like, man, that sounds crazy. Like, you know, like, what would you say?
I will say a lot of people are like, you're crazy. I don't know how you do that. I could never do it.
People you've told.
I encourage you. I honestly think you should take on the challenge. We really should push ourselves to be uncomfortable a little bit more, and you'll be surprised where you'll find your strength. And you know, I really believe that you find strength in discomfort, and it's a necessary endeavor that we need to take on to really reach our highest selves. Right. Because if we're too comfortable all the time, you know, you're not going to exceed. You're just going to kind of plateau and stay where you're at. And I feel like, you know, you won't really ultimately feel fulfilled, you know, when you kind of stay stagnant like that. So
it is true. It's, if we don't struggle, we don't grow. We're not only, you know, just staying at at that plateau. We're actually digressing, you know. So we want to evolve as humans and be the best version of ourselves. Who wants to be sad all the time? Who wants to be depressed all the time? Who wants to feel sick all the time? You know, And then there's the science too, right? About, what it does to our bodies. So it keeps down the inflammation, which something like 95% of all sicknesses come from inflammation.
Exactly.
And that often comes with the foods we eat and certain lifestyles, which that's another thing too. They say that most sicknesses are like 95% caused by our own self. Like we can stop 95. It's only the 3 or 5% that you cannot do nothing about. But most of the other ones, sure.
Yeah.
Lifestyle. What you're eating, drinking, what is it that you're doing? Are you working out? Are you running? Are you doing those short stressors? Not the long ones like, oh, I gotta pay the bills, or all the kids, and what am I gonna do if I don't have a new pair of shoes, or something like that.
It's a call for accountability. It really does put the ball in your court, and it's your chance to really improve your life, your day to day. If you really don't want to feel miserable anymore, take on a challenge.
Right, for
Try
sure.
to do something different. Something that you wouldn't normally think. I never thought I would do ice baths. I'm an island girl. I love the heat. So anything ice, I'm like, no. But, I surprised myself, and now I've been doing it, these past 2 years now. So
same here, same thing. My ancestors are from the island of Puerto Rico. I was born in July 31st in the middle of summer. Like, I like heat. Like, that's what I called for. But once I did the cold, like, wow, man, it just changed everything.
It did.
Everything. Things started just falling away, and it's a great practice that I have.
For sure,
too.
yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and all that. Appreciate that.
I always extend appreciation to you for what you do, for, inviting me into your space and really making it a home for me,
Appreciate that. That's what it is. The Omziel Healing Sanctuary is just a recharging energy station for people to come and just boot up, recharge, and get back out there, man.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much again. I look forward to seeing you.
I look forward to the next one, yes.
All right.
And I'm going to invite more people.
Okay, there you have it. Omziel Healing Sanctuary in North Bergn, New Jersey. Oh, where can people find you?
Oh, I'm in North Brunswick.
And Instagram?
Oh, my Instagram is Yaznicole, Yaznicole.
And you said you're a birthing coach.
Well, I'm a birthing nurse. I work in labor and delivery. But
that's
hoping
amazing.
to segue into other avenues soon. So, stay tuned. We'll see.
Stay tuned. Yeah. Sounds great. Much blessing, sister.
Yes,
All right.
Thank you.
There you have it, guys. See you soon. Peace.
And blessings, y'all.